involves extensively in its production process. The company wishes to maintain an optimal inventory system for its raw materials to balance the carrying cost of inventory and ordering cost. So remember, carrying cost is the cost of keeping your inventory. Okay? Any expenses that are attached to warehouses where you hold your inventory, where you keep your inventory, those are all costs attached to the warehouse are your carrying costs. Okay. So here we've been given this information. Annual demand for material X, 12,000 units. So this company, in a year, it needs 12,000 units of material X. Cost per order, 250 kwacha. So each time we make an order, we have to pay 250. Holding cost per unit per year, 10 kwacha. Okay, this is how much it costs to keep 1 unit of inventory for that year. Lead time, 2 to 5 days. The lead time is how long you have to wait whenever you place an order. Okay, that's your lead time. Working days per year, 300 days. Purchase price per unit, 50 kwacha. Okay, so this additional information. The company wants to minimize its total inventory cost, ordering plus carrying costs, while ensuring that stockouts do not occur. As I said earlier on, inventory control, you are trying to minimize these costs and prevent understocking, or because when you understock, that's where stockouts will happen. If you overstock, if you've got perishable goods, those perishable goods are going to be destroyed. Okay? If your goods are not perishable, then you overstock. Yeah, they can wait. You can wait until they are sold. Okay? But sometimes you incur unnecessary holding costs when you overstock. Okay? So the first thing, calculate the following: the economic order quantity. Okay? As I said earlier on, the economic order quantity, you are trying to minimize two costs. Okay? You're trying to minimize the ordering cost and the carrying cost. That's what this EOQ is. Okay? If we look at this graph here, this is the graph for the EOQ. Okay? Ordering costs and holding costs act in opposite manners. Okay? The more inventory that you order, your holding costs are going to be increasing. Okay? You bring 1,000 units, next time you bring 2,000 units, your holding cost is going to be increasing because you're bringing more units into the warehouse. So the more units you bring into the warehouse, your holding costs are going to increase. That's why we see holding costs increasing like this. The ordering costs act in the opposite manner. Okay? Because your ordering cost, you incur it whenever you make an order. So the bigger the quantity you get, the less orders you make. The less orders you make, the less your ordering cost. Okay, that's why, as you can see, as we order more inventory, our holding cost is going down, but our holding cost is going up. Okay, so the EOQ, you see when these two intersect, tries to minimize these costs, the holding and the ordering costs. That's what the EOQ is trying to do. It's trying to minimize those costs. Okay. So, if we come back to our question here, calculate the economic order quantity. This is the formula for the economic order quantity. It's 2 multiplied by your annual demand, multiplied by your order cost, divided by your holding cost. Our annual demand, 12,000 units. Our order cost, 250 units. Holding cost, 10 kwacha per unit. So just multiply 2 times 12,000 times 250, you get 6 million. 6 million divided by 10, 600,000. The square root of 600,000, rounded off, you get 775 units. So what this is telling us in simple words is that each time we order, we're going to be ordering 775 units. Because when we order 775 units, we minimize our ordering and holding costs. Any question? Okay, wonderful. Reorder level. This tells you at what point you need to make an order again. When your inventory reaches a certain amount, then you have to place the order. Okay? So this is how we get our reorder level. Okay? This is the formula. So here I would advise write down this formulae, so that in the exam you won't be given. You need to remember this. Okay? This is the formula for the reorder level. It's your maximum consumption, how much inventory you sell or use up in a day. Okay? Maximum consumption, how much inventory you sell or you use up in a day, multiplied by the maximum lead time. How long you have to wait when you place an order. Now take note of this, colleagues. In a question, if they don't give you, notice they haven't given us our maximum consumption and our minimum consumption. Okay? So if in a question they don't give you the maximum and the minimum consumption, you get the average consumption. I repeat, in a question they don't give you the maximum or the minimum consumption, you get the average consumption. So here we don't have the maximum or the minimum consumption. So our average consumption, average daily usage, is just your annual demand divided by the working days. Okay? So the annual demand is 12,000 units. The working days is 300 working days. Okay, both of these figures have been given to us in the question. So 12,000 divided by 3,000, our average consumption is 40 units per day. Okay, this is how much inventory is sold or used per day on average. 40 units. So your average consumption is going to replace your max consumption and your minimum consumption. Okay, so I've seen here under maximum consumption, I've put the average. Maximum lead time in the question they told us it's 2 to 5 days, so the maximum lead time is 5 days. Okay, so 40 times 5, 200 units. So what this is telling us is that when we reach 200 units, we need to make an order. When we reach 200 units, we need to make an order. Is that okay, colleagues? Any questions? Next, we have to get the maximum inventory level. What's the most inventory we should have in the building? Okay, what is the most inventory that we should have? That's the maximum inventory level. Okay, so the maximum inventory level, this is the formula here. So I said, get photos or write these formulae down, but I'll also send you this document, so get these formulae down. Okay, because all questions in this topic, these are the formulae you'll be using. Okay, this topic here for inventory control, once you just know the formula, yeah, you are good to go. You won't be given to you in the exam. So the maximum inventory level is the reorder level plus the reorder quantity or your order quantity minus your minimum consumption multiplied by your minimum lead time. Our reorder level 200 units. Our ordering quantity is the economic order quantity we tabulated. So our ordering quantity, so let me even put it as order, not reorder quantity. I'll just put here order quantity, so it makes life easier. So the order quantity 775 units. Minimum consumption. Remember in the question they never gave us the minimum or the maximum consumption. So we use the average consumption. And the average consumption was 40 days per unit. Okay. So in this minimum consumption, let me put it here. So that when you're starting, when you study this document, you won't get confused. Yes? Yes, is that a question? Okay. So minimum consumption, we use our average. The minimum lead time. Remember lead time they told us here 2 to 5 days. So the minimum lead time is 2 days. So 40 times 2, that is 80. 200 plus 775, 975. 975 minus 80, 895 units. So that's the maximum inventory of material X that we should have. Okay. We should have 895 units. If we go beyond, we are now overstocking. Okay. We'll be now overstocking. Any questions? Okay. So the minimum stock level. What's the lowest inventory we should have? It's the reorder level minus the average consumption multiplied by the average lead time. Our average consumption, we already have it. That 40 days per 40 units per day. Already have our average consumption. Our average lead time, remember lead time is between 2 to 5 days. So you say 2 plus 5 divided by 2, you get 3.5 days. So our average lead time is 3.5 days. On average, that's how long you have to wait. Or you can even round it off to 4 days. That's the average lead time. So our minimum stock level, our reorder level minus the average usage multiplied by the average lead time. So 40 times 3.5, that's 140. 200 minus 140, 60 units. So this is the lowest inventory you should ever have, 60 units. If you go below, we are going to have stock outs. You won't have any inventory to sell or to use for production. Oops, let me just get my bundles. Let me just get them. Sorry about that, my I was kicked out. Yes. Any questions, Mr. Michael, Madam Catherine? Any questions so far?
So, I'm trying to stock it in. So, yeah, unless I get confused at some point, I'll definitely ask. I'm not trying to grasp the concept.
Okay. Mr. Michael?
I'm unable to see the screen, sir.
Can you see it now? I've shared it.
Okay, I've seen it now.
Any questions? Okay. So next we have to get the average inventory level. Okay. It's just the minimum level plus half over the economic order quantity. Minimum level 60 units. Our economic order quantity 775 units. So half of 775 you get 387.5. So 60 plus 387.5 you get 477.5, which is the same as 478 units. That's your average inventory. The inventory you should have on an average day. Okay. Now we go to part B. Calculate the total annual material cost. So here, total annual material cost is basically the annual purchase cost plus the annual order cost plus the annual holding cost. That is the total material cost. Right? So let's start with our purchase cost. Purchase price, they told us is 50 kwacha per unit. Annual demand 12,000 units. So 50 times 12,000, 600,000 kwacha. This is the purchase price for the year. That's the first material cost. The second material cost is the annual order cost, which is your number of orders multiplied by the order cost. Okay. So we need to get our number of orders. Okay. The number of orders is just your annual demand over your order quantity. Okay. In a year we need 12,000 units. Each time we make an order, we order 775 units. So how many orders are we going to make that year? 12,000 divided by 775. On the round of our answer, we're going to make 15 orders that year. Okay. If we're ordering according to the economic order quantity, we're going to have to make 15 orders that year. Okay. So annual order cost, number of orders times order cost. So make 15 orders. It's 250 kwacha per order. So 15 times 250, 3,750 kwacha. That is the annual ordering cost. Any questions on that? Because remember, colleagues, after this video, I'm going to give you a similar question. Okay? I'll give you a similar question to test your understanding. Okay. All right. In our annual holding cost, is our average inventory multiplied by our holding cost per unit per year. Okay. How do we get our average inventory? It's our order quantity divided by 2. Our holding cost per unit per year is 10 kwacha. Okay, it was given here in the information here. Holding cost per unit per year, 10 kwacha. So 775 divided by 2, 387.5, multiplied by 10 is 3,875 kwacha. That is our annual holding cost. So the total material cost, which is the annual purchase cost, plus the annual order cost, plus the annual holding cost, 600,000 plus 3,750 plus 3,875 will get 607,685 kwacha. Any questions?